If you're a labor intensive contractor and you're not cost tracking your labor out in the field, you are losing a ton more money than you actually think. Labor is your greatest variable. So if you're a professional in the business and you're not actually taking labor cost tracking on your project seriously, I'm going to be quite honest with you. I think your career is probably going to be limited. That is the number one metric that you need to be tracking, that will give you the confidence and the data every single week to make good decisions for your project. Some of the largest pitfalls that I see contractors have with labor cost tracking: one, their bids aren't set up properly so the field could actually track properly. So when they transfer that bid information to whatever the field setup may look like in your particular company, those numbers just start falling out of whack and aren't in the proper buckets. Now, provided that you do that correctly and it gets out to the field isn't properly trained to track that labor and they don't put it in the right buckets. And or what they do is the amount of hours that are put into each of those unit prices, or I call them scope buckets, don't match the payroll. So next thing you know, at the end of the project, you have 1,000 man hours in your payroll, but you only have about 850 hours that are tracked, or you have more man hours. So it just doesn't flow properly. Another pitfall and another challenge that contractors have is people don't take it seriously enough, and garbage in, garbage out. If you're tracking labor, you need to understand that that is probably one of the top three most critical metrics that the company is tracking. That's developing historical data that your estimators are probably looking at, and they should be looking at, and they're determining your next bid based on that historical data. So if you're giving them a unit price that isn't realistic, guess what's going to happen? They're going to put in an unrealistic bid. Then you're going to have to work with that unrealistic bid. And then, of course, we all know what happens, right? The field is always blaming the estimating. Meanwhile, a lot of that could have been avoided if the field would have taken cost tracking a lot more seriously. So this is a really big topic, but I just wanted to hit you with a couple pitfalls and a couple of pain points that I'm hearing over and over.